Lesson 17, Rounding and Estimating. So why estimate? The reason that we estimate is to determine an approximate, appropriate value. So let's do an example on rounding. So round to the nearest 1,000. So we have 1,764,000. Nope, that's 1,000,000,764,000,001,251. So if we're going to round to the nearest 1,000, first we have to find the thousands spot, which is right here. Then we look at the number after that, so the number 2. If it's less than 5, we leave this one the same. If it is 5 or more, we're going to raise it one value to a 2, and we put zeros in the other places. So since it's less than 5, we're going to leave this a 1, and then we put zeros in the last 3 place values. So we leave the 1, replace the last 3 with 0. So now we're rounded to the nearest 1,000. Here's another example. Round to the nearest 100,000,000. We're going to use the same number, 1,764,001,251. So we want to round to the nearest 100,000,000. So we have to find the 100,000,000 place, which this group of 3 right here is the million. So 100,000,000 is right here, the 7. We look at the number after it, which is a 6. That's bigger than 5. So this 7 is going to go to 8. And all the other numbers past that 100,000,000 spot will go to 0. So we're going to have 1,800,000,000. And all those other numbers go to 0. So the thing that we want to remember when we're rounding is look at the number to the right. So on the right side of the place value that you're rounding to. So if that number is 0 through 4, we round down. In other words, you keep the number the same. The key, though, is remembering that all the digits after it have to go to 0. If it's 5 to 9, we're going to round up, which means you're going to add 1 to that digit that is in that place value. So here's another example. Round to a whole number. So 7 and 5/12. Since 5/12 is less than 1/2, we're going to round down to 7. Seven and 7/12. Since 7/12 is more than 1/2, we're going to round up to 8. And if we have the decimal, 7 and 519 thousandths, we can look at the 7, look at the digit after it. Since that's 5, we're going to round up to 8. And that will be our whole number, 8. We just drop off the decimal. So when we're rounding decimals and they go to 0, you can just drop them off. So this is half or more. Okay, a lot of times you're going to have questions that say, is the answer reasonable? Reasonable just means, does it even make sense for what they're asking? So we're going to write a word problem. Jenny is recarpeting her 12-foot by 8-foot room. The carpet is $7.89 per foot squared. She calculates the total cost to be $640.90. Is her calculation reasonable? You can use estimating to see if it's reasonable. So if we did 12 times 8 to get the area, we'd have 96 feet squared. If we rounded that up to 100, so she has about 100 feet squared, and they cost $7.89, we can just round up to $8 per square foot. If you multiply those together, it's closer, it's about $800 is what it's going to cost. So then we can answer the question, is her calculation reasonable? Well, no, it's not. It's too low. She should be closer to $800 range. And that's the end of that lesson.